But the Lord said through the prophet James, do not rich men oppress you, but yet you despise the poor of your people. That doesn't make any sense. The white man, these Gentile rich elite, got more money than any of us. Okay, they could all make us look like hell and shit. Basically, bottom line, read.
And draw you before the judgment seat.
And the judgment seat represents their court systems, all right? If you break a law in a society, you're going to jail or you're going to court. And they bring you to their judgment seat. So that goes to show you that the rich man represents the white man and the Gentiles and their power and their rulership. Read.
Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which are ye called?
Which represents the so-called Jews.
Which ye are called.
Right. Which represents the so-called Jews. All right. Because the so-called Jews, okay, they control the court systems. All right. And they're the ones that basically run this world. Okay. They're the top elite. All right, of the Illuminati, like the Rothschilds, okay, which is so-called Jews, all right? So when you get to understanding, the Lord is speaking here about how we need not to be despising one another, because at the end of the day, we're being despised and oppressed by the so-called white man and the other nations as a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? Give me Matthew chapter 8, verse 11, concerning Abraham's bosom, which represents the kingdom, okay? This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 8, verse 11.
And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham.
So the Lord said that many shall come from these different places of the earth, because there's going to be Israelites that's going to be saved from different parts of the earth. And there's going to be even some of the Gentiles that, you know, they're going to be coming from different parts of the earth, bringing Israelites to Jerusalem, like it tells you in Isaiah, okay, as an offering to be accepted, all right? Because the only way they're going to be accepted is by being our servants, the remnant of them that survive this destruction that are scattered, okay, throughout Europe and different parts of Asia, Africa, etc. Okay, China, the land of Sedom. Read on.
And shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
So Abraham's bosom represents the kingdom of heaven. And Abraham's going to be there, Isaac's going to be there, and Jacob is going to be there. All in the kingdom of heaven. All right, so when it speaks about the rich man, okay, and Lazarus dying, going to Abraham's bosom, that's representing the kingdom. All right. Give me Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. That represents the kingdom. All right. Well, at this point, it's already been an hour already. Wow. This word, man. Woo. Should we make this 2 parts, or I haven't even gotten to the hell part yet? About the fire. Okay. I don't know. Let's continue reading it, I guess. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right, that's why it says the angels carried Lazarus into Abraham's bosom. Because the angels are going to be the ones through Christ that's going to deliver us. Okay, and Michael's going to be the one spearheading that, like it tells you in Daniel 12 and 1. So angels, like I said, so let's go back to Luke 16:22. All right.
All right. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Right.
The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lived.
Right. Up. So the bottom line is that the rich man also died and he was buried. So I'm just going to go into the hell real quick, and then I guess we could close out on that, but it's ridiculous, man, with this word, man. This word is beautiful, man. All right? The gospel is being taught. You understand? The scriptures are being pulled out, the precepts. All right? And basically, the truth is coming out, man. And when you do this, you're in the spirit, you don't recognize how fast time flies. That's why I tell brothers, man, if y'all having hard times in your life, you do what you got to do for daily survival, so long as you're not breaking the laws of the Most High and the laws of the land, for the most part. But you need to be knee deep in this gospel, man. All right, because it makes the captivity will start flying much faster. All right, you become more into this knowledge, and you become more into studying and more into doing the work of the Lord and being amongst the brethren. All right, days will start becoming like hours, man. Okay, hours will start becoming like minutes. Minutes will become like seconds, man. Okay, months will become like weeks. All right. Already another year has passed. His kingdom, you know.
Going to 2012.
2012. Okay. According to the Mayan calendar, this is supposed to be the end. But Christ said no man knoweth the time of the hour, so we'll see. Okay. So let's go to Luke chapter 16, verse 23.
And in hell he lift up his eyes being in torment.
So it says, in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment. So basically in the kingdom, okay, which is Abraham's bosom, the rich man is going to lift up his eyes and be in torment. So basically it's going to be like a role reversal. We just read the Hebrews where the Lord said the men of the Lord was tormented in the rich man's kingdom. So in our kingdom, the remnant of the rich men, like it tells you in Isaiah, we're going to suck the riches of kings, suck the breasts of the Gentiles, the milk, all right? They're going to be tormented. So much for your, God love everybody, all right? Because the rich Gentiles are going to be tormented. Okay, the ones that had their salvation in this time, they had their riches, they had their money, they're going to be tormented in our kingdom. Okay, give me Revelation 20 and 10. And let's get into that fire. Okay, let's get into that fire real quick. Let's go to show you that the fire is not talking about a hell. Okay, the hell is actually a condition of torment, which includes fire, because as they're burning up, they're going to be in hell as they're burning. Okay, read Revelation chapter 20, verse 10.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone.
The devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. Now, when you get the understanding, this is how you know it's not talking about the actual devil as far as the spiritual hell, because it says brimstone. Brimstone is buildings. Okay, brimstone represents buildings or ashes from buildings. All right, so you mean to tell me there's a city and buildings in hell? There's a spiritual hell has buildings there. It's brimstone. Okay, and the Lord said it will be fire and brimstone. So this is going to be the fire is going to be on a city. Okay, it's going to be on a city which is going to be here on earth. Read on.
All right, where the beast and the false prophets are.
Right, the beast and the false prophet. The beast represents the so-called white race. All right, and the false prophets represents the church systems and these religions. All right, basically. All right, and when we say the so-called white race, we're talking about as a nation of people. All right, and the elite. All right, some of them are going to be part of in that lake of fire. Some of them, but not all of them. Because they're going to escape, because they got fallout shelters. They know the time has come.
That's right.
You read Revelation, the 6th chapter, it tells you that.
Yep.
Read on.
Shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Right. The Lord said that the beast is going to be tormented day and night, because he's also the false prophet. All right. Because you got the so-called white man making predictions that May, Alex Jones, May 2008. Then you got another one, May 2011. Something was supposed to happen. It's these damn crackers that's making these false predictions of spiritual events that's going to go down. All right, and conspiracy theorists are false prophets too. All right, and that's mainly spearheaded by the so-called white man. Notice the bulk of these conspiracy theorists are white people. All right, so he's a false prophet and he's a beast. All right, set up by Satan to cause confusion on this earth and deceive the people, like the RFID chip. All right, deceiving them. The Lord said they're all going to burn in a lake of fire and brimstone. And they're going to be tormented day and night. Right, because they're going to be tormented in our kingdom. Because our kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. All right. The sun is not going to go down on our kingdom because it's going to be forever. So forever, the beast and the false prophet will be tormented in our kingdom. All right. Like the rich man in Luke the 16th chapter. Let's get Luke chapter 12 verse 49. To prove to you that the fire is on earth. All right. That's spoken of in Revelation. It's going to be on earth. The lake of fire is actually going to be a setting of fire on this earth that Christ and the angels and the nuclear missiles are going to cause. That's going to cause people to burn in them. All right. And the Lord's going to have their spirits remain in their bodies for a certain dispensation of time so they can feel that burning. All right. Not so much as, okay, because you know, when people burn in a fire, after about maybe, 10 seconds, they say you don't feel anything no more. You just pass out, you die. But the Lord's going to hold their spirits in their body to make them feel that burning for a certain dispensation of time. It's going to be a very gruesome death. Read Luke chapter 12, verse 49.
I am come to send fire on the earth.
What did Christ say?
I am come to send fire on the earth.
No fire in the in hell.
I am come to send fire on the earth.
No fire in the underworld where the devil and the pitchfork is at.
I am come to send fire on the earth.
The Lord said the fire is going to be here on earth. So when you read about that lake of fire and brimstone, it's going to be right here on earth, according to Scripture. Right?
And why will I, if it be already kindled?
Right, because the nuclear destruction and missiles and annihilation is already going to be going on by the time Christ comes simultaneously to deliver the 12 tribes of Israel. Fire is already going to be kindled on this earth by the time the Son of Man approaches. Remember, the nations are already going to be warring against each other. And like 2nd Ezra says, they're going to stop warring with each other and they're going to turn and fight the man that coming from the sea. Okay, with the angels. Like it tells you, I believe it's 2nd Ezra 14. All right, they're going to turn. They're going to stop what they're fighting amongst each other, and they're going to fight a man on a horse. You understand? So read it again one more time. Luke chapter 12, verse 49.
I am come to send fire on the earth.
So where's the fire going to be at?
On the earth.
On earth. Give me Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6. The fire is going to be on earth. Okay, so that doctrine of hell is smashed with the scriptures as far as it being an underworld where spirits go because they're evil and wicked, and they're tormented with the devil and pitchfork and boiling cauldrons. Okay, read Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6.
Therefore had the curse devoured the earth.
The Lord said the curse shall devour the earth. Okay, meaning that this whole earth is cursed under the Gentiles' rulership of paganism and wickedness. Read.
And they that dwell therein are desolate.
The Lord said, they that dwell therein are desolate. Read.
Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned.
The Lord said the inhabitants of the earth are what?
Are burned.
See, the inhabitants of the earth are burned. Not talking about a spiritual hell. Okay. The Lord said the inhabitants of the earth are burned. Read.
And few men left.
And few men left. Now let's go into the torment, and then we're going to close it out. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 1. Okay, now I'm going to give you the brief synopsis of the Pharisees concerning the rest of the verses. So I'm just going to, if y'all brothers want to know the precepts on that, then you're going to have to email me on that. All right, and I'll just give the breakdown. And if you disagree or you need to know the precepts to it or the scriptures concerning it, I'll just give it to you. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17, verse 1. Because you got to understand something. The same way, similar how the Lord judged the Egyptians, is the same similar way the Lord's going to judge Esau here in America and the Gentiles throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. The same way. All right. We want to read that because they're going to be tormented with this flame. All right. Read on Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17, verse 1.
For great are thy judgments.
The Lord said, great are his judgments. And what happened to the rich man in Luke the 16th chapter, which represents the merchants and also represents, okay, the rich elite of the so-called white race. Okay. The Lord said that's going to be a great judgment. Read.
And cannot be expressed.
The Lord said his judgments cannot be expressed. That's why the Lord said they're going to be tormented day and night. Read.
Therefore, uttered souls have erred.
Unnurtured souls have erred. Okay. That's what the Lord said. All right. Because it cannot be expressed how the judgment of the Most High is. Because if men really knew the type of judgment that the Most High has in store for the wicked, you understand, they will correct themselves. But because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore it's in the heart of the sons of men to do evil. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Read on.
For when unrighteous men taught to oppress the holy nation.
Right, unrighteous men, like with the rich men, just like the Egyptians here in this chapter. They wanted to oppress the holy nation, like they're about to oppress the elect of the nation of Israel. Read.
They being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night.
Right, that's what's going to happen to the Gentiles, okay, and these rich men. Okay, read.
Laid there exiled from the eternal providence.
Right, drop down to verse 11.
Verse 11. For wickedness condemned by our own witness is very timorous, and vain press with conscience always forecast grievous things.
Right, that's what the scripture said. They're going to be tormented because of their wickedness. Read.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of succor.
Right, which represents salvation or deliverance. Read.
With which reason offer it.
Right. You start to fear when you fear. You start to fear when you feel as if you can't escape this judgment. All right. That's how the Gentiles are going to be, because they're going to realize that they're going to start fearing once they realize there's no escaping the Most High's judgment. There's no succors, which represents places of relief. Read.
And the expectation from within, being less counted, the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Read.
But
that's why we read the scripture as the rich man asked Father Abraham to have Lazarus help them. Okay, because they unreasonably believing that they're going to escape the Lord's judgment when the judgment's already been sealed upon them. Read.
But they sleeping the same sleep that night.
Which is going back to the time of the Egyptians when the Lord sent the death angel in the camps of the Egyptians. Read.
Which was indeed intolerable.
It was intolerable. The Gentiles can't take pain. Okay, the white man cannot take his white woman betraying him. That's why earlier this week he kills the woman and he kills himself. Okay, the black and Hispanic men, our women betray us every damn day, every hour. Hell, right now as we speaking, our women are betraying us. All right, but we still strong in this, man. We still strong in the faith. We don't put our spirit and trust in a woman. We put our spirit and trust in the Most High while Yahushua. Cursed be he that putteth his trust in man. Read.
In which come up, in which upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell.
Right.